welcome, thank you. Thank you to the O'Neillers, demonstrating a musical community that is united in song and expression of joy. I love the chorus of the song they just sang. Through the joy and the strife, there is rhythm to life, and music is always there for me. When asking a few fellow lower school teachers, what one word would you use to describe community, they replied with inclusivity, togetherness, unity, unified, acceptance, support, comfort, helpfulness, people, strength, and O'Neill. For our talk today, I will use these adjectives to describe community in my life. I was born into a large, inclusive community. My parents had 8 children in 10 years. I was number 7. To make our family community function, we all played our roles. My role from the very beginning that I can remember was to be the helper. My earliest memories were helping my siblings as we were all assigned household chores. It was my job to bring the chairs in and out of the kitchen so they could properly mop the whole floor without interference. As I got older, I would help dust, vacuum clean windows, and do just about any chore that needed to be done. Starting in 1st grade, I would line up white bread on the table to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my siblings for our school lunches. My community was broken when I was in kindergarten and my parents divorced. Through that brokenness, we gave each other comfort, became stronger, unified, and dependent on one another. Just outside our home was my neighborhood community. We lived 7 houses down the street from the Catholic Church. Up and down the street were other large families. With over 40 kids on our small street of 20 homes, there was never a problem finding a friend to play with. Today, through social media, I am in touch with many of my kindergarten through 12th grade classmates and neighbors. And this is my family as adults. In 5th grade, I became a part of a community that would someday be my livelihood. I joined the band. My experience on the oboe was not the best, and I ended up being a 5th grade band dropout after my 1st year. Halfway through my 6th grade year, a friend asked me to join her in free French horn lessons after school with the music teacher, Mrs. Russell. My progress was slow, but I was determined to be successful and be a leader of my section. By 8th grade, I fell in love with practicing and performing. That is me playing French horn. By 8th grade, I fell in love with practicing and performing, and I look forward to our concerts and challenged myself in solo and ensemble competitions. My small town of Grays Lake, Illinois was a corn town between Chicago, Illinois and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The high school I attended was called Grays Lake Community High School. I attended band camps to connect and play music with other students my age that had the same musical aspirations. In my last 2 years of high school, I competed at the district and state level to be in the highest level bands. Although I knew I wanted to be a performance major in college, I did have other community connections outside of music. Despite my short stature, I loved being part of the athletic community. While I was in junior high, I was on the basketball and softball teams. I dreamed of making that last shot to win the games, but was rarely used outside of warming the benches for my teammates. That was okay with me because I loved the practices and the friendships made as we united for a common cause. Even though I did not play too often in actual games, I felt included. In high school, I gave up my athletic aspirations until my junior year. Good or bad, I purposely did not want to be part of a community that I would disappoint. In my junior year, I joined track and ran the mile because I could compete against myself and my own timing. I figured if I did not come in last and I completed the race, I succeeded. As an adult, I still love running and I get energized running in 5K races. I find strength to compete in sprint triathlons when a community of spectators are cheering me on. I've participated in 4 different summers in the Great Ohio Bike Adventure. GOBA is a 2,000-person bicycling community that rides 350 miles over a span of 1 week. In this community, you will find young children being towed in bike buggies to riders in their 80s traveling through the Ohio cornfields in Amish country. Each night we are like nomads setting up our tents in an open field. Through those 7 days of biking 50 miles a day, you will find togetherness, acceptance, support, and strength. I have not always lived my life in a community. At times, one needs solitude. In college, I spent a good portion of my time by myself in the practice room, preparing for the next lesson, audition, or rehearsal with other musicians so that I may be at my highest level of performance in chamber ensembles, wind ensembles, or orchestra. I've been extremely fortunate to be part of many musical communities in my life. And I'll get to the next one. I played French horn at Walt Disney World for a summer internship, as well as playing seasonal Christmas and Easter brass quintets. I played with the National Taiwan Symphony Orchestra, where I lived there for 16 months. It was a great life lesson learning Chinese and interacting daily with a culture and community outside of my Western comfort zone. I've lived and experienced many different communities in the States, including Little Compton, Rhode Island, Tallahassee, Florida, Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, Huntington, West Virginia, and now Pinehurst, North Carolina. My church community has always been a strong influence in my life. In 2001, we were a part of a church that had strong military presence, representing servicemen and women stationed at the Pentagon. As a church family, we comforted and supported those who lost family, co-workers, and friends. Together, we cared for and prayed for families with members facing countless reconstruction surgeries and day-to-day life struggles. 2 years later, in 2003, our newly constructed neighborhood grew as a community as we all lost power for a week due to Hurricane Isabel. In addition to my siblings and my mom, my most treasured community is with my 3 grown adult children and their spouses. My daughter Allison and her husband Steve, my daughter Caitlin and her husband Anthony, my 4-year-old granddaughter Olivia, and my son Dominic and his fiancée Katrina. Our family has been an incredible support system as we've been navigating life over the last few years. I would be remiss if I did not mention one person who said O'Neill as an adjective. She turned the O'Neill name from a noun to an adjective. I think we could all agree with her. When I think of the O'Neill School, I see togetherness of students who range from 3 years to 18 years. The first day of school is so exciting with senior buddies meet in unity, matching t-shirts with their first and second grade friends for life. I think of the unity of 3 divisions coming together to perform an all-school musical. The diverse community at O'Neill is inclusive and accepting despite the competitive nature of the Red-Blue Challenge. I also think of helpfulness as each class raises money through penny wars and canned food drives so that the O'Neill School can collectively help others in need. Additionally, there is support when we celebrate academic success as well as our athletic success. Congratulations to all. The O'Neill School is a perfect example of community. Thank you.